Hola, buenas tardes. Good evening, everybody. Thank you to Clever Group and to Forward, Fabian, Marcos, Julia, and Hannah for inviting us. We are here today on stage for the Wine Confessions. It sounds cool, doesn't it? So I was wondering if we can jump into the future. It's the last session before gala dinner, and put our feet on tomorrow's land. So I don't want to give you many data, but to start with that, it's now 6 o'clock. I would say tourism industry is going to grow on a compounded growth of 7.4% in the next 5 years on a global basis. Luxury travel is going to do on a faster and a higher pace. So that's some good news to congratulate all of us. But before going into discussion and looking into the future, I would like to have your pitch elevator about your business so that audience can understand who you are and what you're doing here. So, Richard, your first time this time.
Okay, thank you. Well, thank you very much. I'm one of the founding partners of Almont Global. We created Almont Global a few years ago as a company working in the tourism business, a part of the Almont Group, which is Almont Travel. Yuri, of course, is here, the CEO of Almont Travel. And a number of years ago, I was at the Virtuoso Travel Week in Las Vegas, and I was partnered with Yuri because my background is that I'm a media guy. I'm in communications, marketing, media. So I was there working with Virtuoso, and we were talking together, and Yuri said, every time I talk to these people in the travel industry, they're a bit lost for ideas about how to do promotion, how to communicate, and we need to help them with that. So a few years ago, we actually created Almont Global, partnering with Mary Gostelow, who is extremely well known in the industry as well. But not only that, we created a kind of a think tank around us, which is an advisory board, because our idea is that we don't want to just think that we think what we think is good. We need to have brilliant brains around us bringing the ideas together. So, of course, Philippe Boyen, who you heard from earlier on, is on the advisory board. Among the other people, we have Susie Ellis, who is the chairman of the Global Wellness Institute. Edie Rodriguez, who was CEO of Crystal Cruises and Croisière Pendant. She's now on the board of Saudi Tourism. Kostas Christ, who is probably the world's top expert in sustainable tourism, and so on. So we created this think tank to try and help destinations or help hotel groups move forward in an intelligent way.
Okay. Nils, your time?
Yeah, thank you very much. My name is Nils Behrens. I'm the CMO of the Lanserhof Group, and I am working for Lanserhof now 12 years. We are a group of health resorts, and I would say our USP is that we're combining the latest technology in terms of medical examination with natural healing methods. And we're doing this for now almost 40 years. We have sites in Germany and in Austria, and we have announced now one in Spain for 2026-27. Let's knock on wood. And yeah, that's what we are doing.
All right, Paulo?
Thank you, Fabian, for the invitation. Thank you, Forward, by Clever now. And I'd like to introduce quickly saying that I own and I'm CEO of Plenia Travel. We are what the market says a luxury travel agency. We don't see the market so on just the luxury side. Luxury is having time for us. And so we create bespoke and customized itineraries for our customers around the world. And the agency, we are a Virtuoso agency. This is one of the the big achievements that the agency have. We are one of the first 5 agencies that start Virtuoso MEA region. And so we are very happy to develop from there, develop all the connections around the world with the partners. And of course, we have much more affiliation programs around the world, but this one for us is a key point for the strategy. So plenty of travel, and we're lucky in 2021 we won the best luxury travel agency in Europe, and we are nominated for best in the world this year. On the 5th December we'll know what is going on. But anyway, being in the group is already a satisfaction, and for Spain, of course, is an achievement.
Okay, just for you to know me, I'm 30 years now in the industry, 15 years with American Express in the travel background, especially for the luxury people of the luxury car holders. And now I lead the tourism industry in Braintrust. I would say that our vision is to help companies to size markets, to understand the customers, to anticipate the trends, and to put in place the right strategy at the right time in the right manner. So having said that, let's move ahead 10 years ahead. Let's say 2030, which is 7 years. By 2030, I would like to know who will be luxury travelers by then. I mean, in terms of geography, it will be Asian people, it will be American people, European people. Overall, who will be and from where? Professional activity, there will be technology people, there will be influencers, celebrities, sports people who will be these new luxury travelers. And how they will behave. I mean, when consumer in travel, talking about the whole ecosystem, dreaming, planning, booking, experiencing, and sharing, what will be different from today? It's different people. Just for you to remind, by 2030, millennials will be the majority of working people. Z generation will have children. And Alpha generation will be the youngster, just to put in context what are we talking about. So who will be these new luxury travelers and how they will behave? Paulo, you know probably better than anyone these luxury travelers, how they will be by that time.
I think we are always making these futuristic provisions like Nostradamus ideal world. So that was we're supposed to, with Nostradamus, supposed to finish the world doesn't exist anymore, right? So 2030, 2025, 2035. I'm original Portuguese, so 500 years ago we started to travel. Portuguese people start to travel around the world. And so of course, travel will change. I believe traveling is the only thing that the state cannot give to you. Give you education, give you social health. So it's something inner, the human beings travel. Because we need to of course, we need to have relations, we need to discover, this is our inner being. Mm-hmm. At this point, I think from all the generations, or whatever letter we can call them, they will travel. And of course, today with the ChatGPT, with the online, with webinars, people that think they know the destination just by seeing a few videos on the YouTube. And of course, you don't feel the most important thing is people. There's an Harvard study, 80 years, that says that the most important in life to happiness is relations, social relations. So among our family, when we travel, this is the most important discover. Of course, we try to create the experiences that make the social relations with local people, sustainability, responsibility. We are always with that focus, but nothing better than meet someone in Japan or in South America and have a new friend. over there or have a new acquaintance that reminds you the destination, reminds you the experience. So this is, my background is also concierge and memberships and social clubs. So I believe that the mix between discovering the culture, but overall discovering someone that we can connect in the future will be the success of the travel in the future. So 2030, 2025, 2035, for me will not change a lot.
Okay, Nils, most of them are born digital. So at lunchtime we were discussing, how they will enjoy traveling, and you were mentioning to me, hyper-personalization. That would be, the future value proposition. How do you see your value proposition in Lanserhof? It will be more holistic than today, even more alternative. It will be all digital. I will introduce at the end of the session the metaverse concept as well, how it's going to affect and change the travel industry.
It's a pretty good question. I would say we are already ultra-personalized. So that means we have an average 35 guests on one site, on one health resort. And I would say none of them have the same therapy plan. So that means it is already ultra-bespoke. I would say the only thing which will change is that we will have more data in advance. So that means it is easier for us to plan the stay, because I'm pretty sure that having an electronic patient file will be the standard in 7 years. So that means there will be an electronic patient file where you have not only the typical things which your personal doctor has, it also will take into consideration further things like wearables, like history, like gene tests, things like that. And if we are having at the moment already 70% of our guests are returning guests, so that means we have the data anyhow already, but we don't have the data in between the stays. So that means I'm pretty sure this will be the future value we get from the digitalization, and then we can make an even more bespoke stay for them. So I'm pretty sure that this will be the future. And I'm also sure that the decision to come to us will be recommended by an AI. So that means at the moment it is, I would say, I can say 100% of our guests leaving the Lanserhof feeling amazing, but then after a while maybe they are getting back to their, let's say, not so healthy routines, and then after a while when they are not feeling amazing anymore, then they remember us, and then they trying to find some space, some time to come to us. I'm pretty sure that in the future there will be already a recommendation system and saying, now it's come to time for you to go to Lanserhof again.
Let me come back to you. So, tourism industry will be a data-driven industry or a people-driven industry, or both?
Oh, that's a very good question. I must say, there's on the one hand the examination part, which will be even more data-driven in the future. Mm-hmm. There will be the therapy part, which will be mainly driven by humans still, because I would say you can't have everything data-driven.
Okay. At the end of the day, we have seen today technology enhance the experience, but on the other hand, we have listened today that people make the difference. So, Richard, what is your vision on who will be luxury new generation travelers and how they will behave, and what we can learn today to prepare for tomorrow? 2028 or 2030 is around the corner.
It's interesting, we were just talking about wellness, and that was something, I was just on a call, an advisory board meeting just before we came here, just an hour or so ago. So I took the opportunity to ask Susie Ellis, who's the chairman of the Global Wellness Institute, exactly that question: where will wellness be in 7 years' time. And that is where young people will want to be actually today, because wellness for them will be something extremely important.
Absolutely.
Even more important than it probably is for young people today. It will be much more important in the future. Because the thing that Susie said was sports and fitness are going to merge much more. This is what we're going to be seeing is sports and fitness, and wellness all together in centres. So it won't. I mean, this is going to be a much bigger trend. The other thing that will be interesting is that is the democratization of wellness. At the moment, it's still quite an elite thing. It is a luxury thing. Wellness, according to Susie Ellis, will become much more democratized. So that comes from Global Wellness Institute chairman. Everything is going to become much more custom, much more privatized, much more bespoke. And I think AI is going to help a lot with that. Maybe not in the actual rolling out of the actual tools themselves, but excuse me, but certainly in the planning stages, when AI will have a good idea of already what you want, if you allow it to get those ideas. These have already been questions, by the way, in the past with concierge services, as you know, is storing data about people. This is always very touchy. And this is something that's going to have to be addressed in the next 7 years. How can AI systems store your data about you so that it can be used in a useful way? Will I allow a hotel in the United States that I've never traveled to before have knowledge about my preferences? And if I go there, will I be happy that they use them? In the past, this has been a very strong case with concierge services sharing across different hotels in a group, the preferences of clients within a hotel. So I think this is going to be one of the biggest problems with AI in the next years. But I think there will be, by 2030, a case where AI will be able to have a much better idea of what you want to do, because people will allow it to. I think people will get more comfortable with AI, and many people, probably not all, but many people will say, okay, I'm going to let you have that part of information about me because that's actually useful for me for you to know that. So I think, people, we're going to hear about it tomorrow, AI. Everybody's saying, well, will AI be so important in the future? Well, duh. Of course it's going to be very important in the future. But if you'd asked me 7 years ago where tourism would be today, or where the world would be going over this next 7 years, anything I said would have been wrong. And today, anything we say will probably be wrong as well, but we can conjecture, we can project, we can have interesting ideas. I think the next 7 years are going to be wild and strange, and we don't really know what's going to happen. But I think the tourism industry will, as you said, grow by, and luxury industry is set to grow by 7.7% CAGR. So this is going to be the place to be.
Okay, let me introduce another concept that I'm very interested on knowing your vision and your opinion, which is the lack of talent everywhere, every industry, which is a very good challenge for the tourism industry. New technologies, artificial intelligence, and all these things are coming. What kind of talent do we need for those times? That means that technology will replace the repetitive task. They will be doing some more, like artificial intelligence. What kind of talent do we need for those times, let's say 2030, and what do we have to do today to have this talent? Paulo. It is a challenge today in the travel agencies arena as well.
I think what distinguishes the travel agencies today is talent. Is not the destination, is the talent in each travel agency. In my sector, I think it makes a difference when you customize. So, especially understand the customer, understand their preferences. The same itinerary doesn't fit everyone. Even his regular travel trip to Paris is not the same for everyone. So, at this point, I believe this next generation is much more prepared prepare. They speak more than 1 or 2 foreign languages. They absorb more information online. The new AI will bring also information, and today this generation is much more prepared than the previous generations. But there's one thing that cannot change the talent is experience. And if you're not experienced, you've not been there. I just came from a trip from 20 days. I was 20 days in Asia. If you've not been there, you don't understand really what is going on. So there's no webinars or online training. So important here is to find the balance between experience and inner talent. So because it's important that we find this challenge in the new generations, and of course a mix between the actual generation and the new ones will be the future. On my point, we don't have Hamadeus, we don't have GDS in our agency. We work with another tools. We create an app. We create online itineraries, very dynamic with videos, with links. Our customers know the reclaim. They get their luggage today when they arrive in the airports. So we try to mix between the new technologies, the talent, and it's important that you feel that this is your sector, the sector you want, tourism, luxury, wherever you call it. But it's important that everyone the inner side of anyone will be, I want to give a service. And sometimes you don't have patience for that.
Okay, Nils, one question. I was mentioning to you at lunchtime as well. We try to prepare industry for future with most of managing teams from baby boomers and X generation. So we don't have the mindset to know what is going to happen and how to prepare. Do you think it is a challenge?
You mean a challenge to handle the millennials, or?
No, I mean, the managing teams are from oldest generation.
Yes.
And we try to understand what is in new generation mindset. So this is not an easy way to do it.
So the good thing is that we have already quite good mixture in our Lanserhof resort. So that means we have already a lot of millennials also in the management. So this is helpful. And I would say what is interesting to see at the moment is that even some of the values from the millennials are also going over to the older generation. So I give you a very concrete example. We have a night concierge who quit his job to work for Lanserhof. Why? Because he sees to be a night concierge at Lanserhof is more purpose-driven than being a night concierge than in a regular hotel, because we are helping people, we are healing people. And this is why he said being part of a team at Lanserhof is for him more purpose-driven, because he not himself can heal people for sure, but he is part of an industry, he's part of a company who's helping people. And this is what makes him quitting his own first job and coming to us. And I would say this purpose-driven thing is something which I realize that also the older generation asking the same question. What is the purpose in my life? What is the purpose I have right now? This is something which was very typical now for the millennials, but I see that the same motivation to have a purpose is now also in the older generation, and you see there are already some crossovers.
Okay, Richard, one last question before we close to an end. From an education perspective, I think we are training the people in a very close way, hospitality or travel agencies, different education for different specific jobs. But I am wondering, what is for these new generations, especially luxury travel, what is exclusivity, what is excellence, and what is uniqueness? Because at the end of the day, what I see from them is that they look for a whole experience. They don't look for, hospitality excellence. They don't look for, travel agency excellence. How we can train the people for the whole experience to satisfy this new concept for these generations?
I think there's two words, is interpersonal skills, and also really attitude. So anytime I've heard from people that are training people within any organization or any hotel organization, what I find interesting is that many, I think it was Jerry and Cirillo was saying just the other day, give me anybody with any skill set, I don't care, as long as they have the right attitude. So I think, people have to learn they have to actually learn how to have the right attitude. They have to learn interpersonal skills. And once people learn those things, this is not something that you can simply learn at school either, by the way, although it should be something that should be taught somehow. And I know, by the way, Forbes Travel Guide do training in those sorts of skill sets. So this is something that's really important. And also, there's another aspect which I think is extremely important in bringing the right talent into this industry. And again, and it didn't come from me. Matthew Upchurch said it the other day at WTTC in Kigali, pride in the industry, pride in your job, making people feel proud about working in this industry. At the moment, that's why we heard earlier on as well, that many young people put hospitality not even anywhere near the top of the list when they're looking for a job. Why? Because they have no reason to have pride in working for an industry like this. Why shouldn't they? Why shouldn't they? That has to come from the industry. It has to come from the people in the hotel groups that are making people feel proud to work for them. So I think there's a whole mental paradigm that has to be changed in terms of helping young people really become attracted to the industry in that way and learn the right skill sets to get into any job in the industry.
Okay, I'm getting your words. And before we leave, I want the three of you giving the audience a word that will drive the industry in the next 10 years. And sustainability is prohibited, and digitization is prohibited. So give the audience one word that will drive the industry in the next 10 years, and why. I mean, sustainability is, so much.
Ultra-personalization.
Personalization.
Ultra-personalization.
Why?
Because that's with AI and with all the new techniques of doing things, with new technologies in general, people will be able to have a much more personalized approach, a much more bespoke approach to their travel. And that's going to make them feel much happier about going to a place and just visiting the things they want to visit. They won't be put on a standard box out of the box tour. So ultra personalization is going to be one of the big things for the next years.
I like very much this one. Especially I see this generation, they will not understand there is no personalization because they are so used to data, to technology, so they will not understand that their behaviors, that their trends. So I like this very much, Nils, for the wellness people, for the wellness industry.
It's pretty easy, but I think it's even a wider thing. It's longevity, and I don't know how it is in Spain or in the audience. Longevity has 12% in Germany understand this word. So this is why I'm
really?
12%. So so this is why I'm explaining it. It's all about living well for longer, and I'm pretty sure that this is one of the main industry driver in the world, not only in the tourism business, because we are the first generation, let's say Generation X, even the boomer can benefit from that, which understands the hallmarks of aging. And with the understanding what are the hallmarks of aging, we also have the key almost in our hand to, let's say, not stop it, but to slow it down.
Yeah.
So, and if in the future, and it will be even not so far away future, it could be that dying could become optional. So, and
Really?
this is really, I'm pretty sure that the next Facebook, the next Google, the next you name it, will be the industry which combines longevity with AI.
I like this very much. Paulo?
I believe the word will be socialization.
Sorry?
Socialization.
Socialization.
So I don't want no longer to go to a resort unless I'm burnt out, very tired, and I want to be laid down on the beach for 7 days. I don't want to be in a resort where I cannot go outside and I cannot discover the real people, society, how they live. So I believe that apart all the nice hotels, business class, wherever, private jets, we can organize. I think today the top fortunes in the world, we see they are more into to meet and discover social people. And yesterday, I have one of the customers that called billionaire, and they're just asking, we want to go to restaurants in Tokyo, we want to see Tokyo, we don't want to go just to temples. Put us in the jazz club, put us in the nice lifestyle restaurant. Of course we like Michelin restaurants, of course we want to eat very well, but
Okay.
I was in this Asia, I was in Seoul, and touched my heart the energy of the society of Koreans, the South Koreans in Seoul. And so I believe that Plenia will go on this direction, make our customers to discover and to socialize, not just staying in Amman's in the nice suites, but to socialize.
Okay, so personalization, longevity, and socialization. I would add the last one, which for me is education. I think it's very important for the next years for this industry. So I think it's the first time I see one panel not ending with digitization and sustainability. So that was my main goal of this panel. Thank you very much. We have no more time, and it's time to gala dinner. So thank you very much, Richard, Nils,
Thank you.
and Paulo.